2 or 3 of them. It just kind of depends. I kind of wing it on my recipes. But you want to let those egg yolks sit out for several hours and get room temperature. That's the important part. And then on the butter, you're going to put 1 stick of butter in these cookies and you're going to melt it. Most recipes don't call for melted butter, they call for softened butter. This one you're going to melt it, but after you melt it, you're going to let the butter set for several hours and come back to room temperature. Something about the chemistry, the science, I don't know, it makes them amazing. So after you do all that, over there so I don't spill it, then you will start mixing your ingredients together. You put the wet ingredients together, the sugar, the eggs, the butter, the vanilla, and then you add the flour and add the chocolate chips. Today I had white chocolate chips, so just as good. And you'll mix those together just until they start to kind of come together. You don't want to overmix it. You'll have some lumps, and that's okay. That's okay. Lumps are flavor. And so you'll mix it together and then put it in the freezer. And you want to put it in the freezer for about 30 minutes to 2 hours. It just kind of depends on how wet the dough is, because this is going to allow you to roll it into balls. And once you roll your dough into about $1/2 little size balls, you freeze them again. I like to freeze them overnight. You really only need to freeze them for about 3 hours, but I am an overachiever and I freeze them overnight. And then the next day or 3 hours later, whenever you cook them, I like to make mine on a pizza stone because it keeps the bottoms real soft, but really you can do it on any cookie sheet and the bottoms stay really pretty soft. That's just my trauma from making cookies that are not this recipe. Trying to keep them from getting too crispy. And so you put your cookie sheet in the oven while it's preheating at 400 degrees. You want to get your cookie sheet hot also, because that's going to help your cookies cook faster, and the faster they cook, the less moisture can escape from the cookie itself, which will keep it moist. And so once it's preheated, you pull your cookie sheet out, you put your cookie balls on your cookie sheet, and stick it back in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. I like to start watching it about 7. And as soon as the little tops on the cookies, like these little ridges at the top, start to just get the teeniest bit golden brown, pull them out, because these babies are done. And then you take them immediately off your cookie sheet. Be careful, use a thin metal spatula and move it from the cookie sheet to your cooling rack. And then you stick the cookie sheet back in the oven to get hot again because it's cooled off a little bit. Take it out and you repeat the process until you cooked all your cookies that you want. Now me and my husband, we like to make this recipe about 8 o'clock at night and eat them as soon as they come out of the oven. He likes them lava hot, not so much me. I would like them to cool off a little bit where I can kind of handle them, but he just likes to throw them in his mouth with a glass of milk. So to each their own, but we do love these cookies. And they're good to keep in the freezer. You can keep them for weeks and just make them as you want them. And that is how you make the chewy chocolate chip cookies.